What is up, everybody? Hope you enjoyed your week break from the PGA Tour. We are back this week. This time, we're going to be in Cabo San Lucas. I've been there myself, not to this course, but to Cabo. Beautiful place, one of my favorite vacation destinations. But we are here to talk about some golf. This event was held at Tiger Woods course for the very first time last year, and it was very easy. So it is the El Cardinal at Diamante. This is a resort course. Eric Van Rooyen won here with a score of 27 under par. The cut was 5 under par, so that just kind of gives you an idea of how easy the course played. While it is a par 72, the measure 7,452 yards, extremely easy. It was the third easiest course on tour out of 58 that were played. So that kind of goes to show just how many birdies were made. And there's not a lot of trouble on the course. So the fairways here, 65 to 70 yards wide on average. The field hit the fairways at that 91% clip last year. So guys that rely on accuracy, probably not going to be their week. I do think distance will play a little bit of a factor, but you don't need to have distance. Just got to keep it a play off the tee on these wide fairways. Green regulation rate last year was 83%, which is one of the highest on the PGA Tour, and that is largely because the greens here are very big, and a lot of the approach shots are going to be hit from the fairway, so the greens are going to be easy to hit. The greens 8,300 square feet on average. They do feature paspalum grass, so it's kind of the grass that we see in a lot of these all-field events. And we're not going to have any shot link data. At least it doesn't look like it. We didn't have it last year. We did have it for the Zozo, which I wasn't expecting a couple weeks ago. So maybe they can get the necessary equipment down there to Mexico. We will see. Again, not big missed fairway penalty because everyone's going to be playing from the fairway. Only one water hazard on the course. The greens are pretty slow. And yeah, so with the greens being so easy to hit, I'm not looking at around the green. Just not going to be a lot of scrambling opportunities. So golfers going to be hitting the fairways, hitting the greens. So guys that rely on accuracy and around the green, I'm not playing them this week. Guys that are really bad around the green, I think that's going to turn into a pretty good course fit for them because they're not going to have to scramble. But anyway, let's get into the model this week. 6% off the tee, 3% total driving. I don't mind using distance instead. I don't mind just bumping it over to stroke gain off the tee. 12% stroke gain approach. I don't have the expected stroke gain approach numbers because we don't have the expected approach lengths this week. Again, 0% to around the green. I did 10% total to putting, and a lot of that is 3-putt avoidance. So these greens are so big that you want to avoid the 3 putts. 4% to birdie or better, 4% to bogey avoidance. If you want to bump up birdie or better, I don't mind it. We only have 1 year of course history to work with, so I only put that at 1%. Stroke gain total on paspalum courses over the last 2 years. You have Vegas, Wu, Smalley, Nico Echeverria, who just won the Zozo, and Patrick Rogers. Guys that play the best in weak field events over the last couple of years: Ben Griffin, Bo Hostler, JJ Spawn, Lucas Glover, and Adam Svensson. And then golfers that play well on very easy courses: Rico Hoey, Taylor Moore, Doug Gim, Matt Kuchar, and Lucas Glover. Now, all these were taken straight from the Rabbit Hole. If you want to check that out at BetSpurt, you certainly can. We have a deal with them if you do want to give their stat engine a look. And then, as always, we have the short-term, mid-term, long-term, and the field strength. Again, I think the field strength is one of the more important metrics in the model. A lot of models don't incorporate field strength. It just goes to show guys that play well in weak fields, if they are just racking up all these great finishes and all these great stats in really weak fields, it might not mean as much as somebody that's doing it in very talented fields. So this helps to negate some of that. And then I did add weights to the different finishing position. So if you want to go for upside, I would bump up this column here. If you want to go for safety, I'd bump up this column here. I'm going for a little bit more upside this week because there are only 120 golfers in the field. You're going to see a higher percentage of the field actually make the cut. So I do want guys with some upside. So I put the top 5% finish at 6%, top 10% finish at 6% as well. And then, yeah, let's get to the overall rankings. At the very top, we have Max Grazerman. He's got 3 runner-up finishes in his last 5 starts. He's been playing well. If you look at the stats, he's pretty solid across the board. His biggest weakness is around the green, which, again, I think that's a strength this week because you turn one of your weaknesses into something that you don't need to worry about. One of the better putters in the field. If I am spending up on anyone, it's going to be him over Cam Young. Not that Cam Young can't win. He just doesn't project that well all the way down to 18th in the model. We know the talent's there, but he just hasn't been great from a stroke game perspective. I mean, the off the tee numbers are down a little bit. The approach numbers are way down, especially recently. Putter's always a concern. Doesn't make a ton of birdies. He's just been a guy that hasn't lived up to his potential. So he could get there, but I don't love him this week. I do like Doug Gim. He's playing well. He's played a lot during the fall. 4 straight top 35 finishes. And what I love about Gim, so not the best short game, not terrible short game, not a good putter, but he doesn't 3-putt very often. So he's 11th in the field in 3-putt avoidance. I love that this week. He was T15 here last year. I love Ben Griffin. I like starting lineups in the 9Ks too. You can start with Gim and Griffin and still build a pretty quality lineup. Again, Griffin beats up on these weak fields. He was T23 here last year, a couple top 25s recently in the fall. The model does love Eric Van Rooyen. Defending champ narrative scares me a little bit. The fact that he doesn't do anything all that well scares me a little bit. The total driving's kind of gone down. Off the tee's kind of gone down. Approach has kind of gone down. So I don't know. His game seems to be trending in the wrong direction, but the putting has been good. So yeah, I don't know. I don't have a strong pick there, but he obviously loved the course last year. Lucas Glover gained over 13 strokes on approach in his last start. He's coming off of 2 third-place finishes in a row. I do think he's an interesting play. Bo Hosser's been very hit or miss with the ball striking, but he's been playing pretty well in the fall. The model does like Sam Stevens. He's been playing well too. T37 or better in 4 straight starts. Hasn't played in this event in the past, but he's a guy that's very good off the tee, very good putter. So if you do like that combo, don't mind looking to Sam Stevens. McNeely just hasn't been great. I don't have a strong take on him. I do like Johnny Vegas, another one of those guys, very good off the tee, very good on approach. And I don't know, the putting's not terrible. So I like that. I like that he's bad around the greens because he's not going to have to scramble very often this week. So I do like Johnny Vegas. We saw him win a few months ago. No strong take on JJ Spawn. I like Keith Mitchell. I don't think this 22% ownership is going to hold up. He's 9,100. Coming off a back-to-back missed cut to high ownership, T38 here last year. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's a birdie fest. He can't make enough putts. Man, they're 4 par 5s and a drivable par 4. I think he's going to be able to feast on those. I think he is a very interesting play. I actually bet him outright this week at 33-1. Justin Lower, the model loves Lower. I think he's a very safe play. I'm not sure how much upside he has, but at 7,500, no complaints there. Schmidt's been playing great. Look at that short term, got 96 scored, better than most of the people priced around him. 16th, 5th, and 3rd. Just the long-term stuff's kind of what's pulling him down. But as you can see, he's gotten better off the tee. He's gotten better on approach. The putting's been pretty good. He's making a lot of birdies right now. So I do think Schmidt's interesting. Patrick Rogers plays pretty well in these easier events. Rico Hoey, number 1 in the field in very easy courses. Like Eckroat, he's pretty bad around the green, so I think he's interesting. Patrick Fishburne, another guy, young talent with a lot of upside. I'm going to look at his way in tournaments. I'm also going to play some Neil Shipley, low am at the Masters, low am at the U.S. Open, turned pro. Hasn't done anything amazing, but he's making a lot of cuts. Carson Young's my pick to win this week. Yes, you heard that correctly. Look, very good off the tee, very good total driver, very good on approach. Very good at avoiding 3 putts, makes a lot of birdies. What he doesn't do well around the green, so I think this could be a good spot for him. Same goes for Nick Hardy, who I'm going to be pretty heavy on. I want to see if there's anybody else down here before we get out of here. I don't mind looking to Cam Champ in tournaments. Don't mind looking to Luke List in tournaments. Don't mind looking to Wesley Bryan. He's only 6,700. And he's one of those guys that, he's won on the PGA Tour. He's been off the PGA Tour. He's kind of doing more of the YouTube thing, but he's played in 3 events in the fall, played well in all of them, made the cut in all of them. If you look at his numbers over the last 12 months, he's actually 4th in this field in birdie or better percentage. A guy that tends to struggle with the driver, but everything else is pretty good. So I think Wesley Bryan is certainly interesting. And if you are listening to this, you can download the model. It's free because you are a premium member. You can customize the weights yourself. If you want to look for high floor lineups, bump this up. If you want to look for birdie makers, you can bump this up. If you want to look for bombers, bump up off the tee. Whatever it may be, you can customize it to your liking, and then you can upload them, the ratings right into Lineup HQ. Just click on the upload tab at the bottom, and then just copy and paste this into a new spreadsheet. Paste as special, save the values, and then you can upload that right up into Lineup HQ. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or in Discord. Best of luck, everybody. We'll catch you back here next week.